introduction today because it's really my privilege to be able to really introduce you guys. I know some of you for the first time, really, too, to Patty Cepeda. And let me tell you a little bit about Patty from what I know. When I was originally looking at Isagenix and looking at an alliance, doing an alliance with Isagenix. One of the first things that I did was, besides starting to do some due diligence on the company, which I've known about for, a good 14 years, is I went to see who the top income earners in the company were. And I always knew that the top income earner was a gentleman by the name of Jimmy Smith, who was a great story in and of himself. Started with the company when he was 74 years old. He's made over $20 million with Isagenix. His family has made over $60 million with Isagenix. And I always knew him to be the top income earner, but to my surprise, I saw that there was a new leading income earners with the company, and that was Herb and Patty Cepeda. So I actually called them up and had a chance to be able to spend some time and meet them and talk to them about why Isagenix and what their philosophy was and so forth. And, I would really say that I knew how important it was for us to be sponsored by the right people, by the right team, to be able to shop for a sponsor. Because I will tell you that, especially in network marketing and Isagenix, it's really about taking the product, and it's about sharing the product, and then it's about really using the tools and using a system. And if you do that, you can be successful with this business. And there was really, as I looked at everything that they put together, at their skill set, at their expertise, I really thought it was a great fit. And here we are now, literally, we got started. This is our 5th month now with the company for some months we're on here. And it's just been a joy to be able to work with these guys. They've been everything that we had hoped for. They've helped to support the team as well. But, just to kind of give you a little bit of really who they are from a talent base, not just from them being from the heart and godly people and raising and having an incredible family, but there are 100 million people in the world that are in this industry in network marketing. A lot of them are just product users and so forth, but out of 100 million people, they're literally about number 35 or so, roughly, in the world in income. And they've got an incredible story to be able to share. Patty's got an incredible story that I'm hoping she shares with you guys, as well as a little bit of her nuggets and some wisdom that she brings to the table, and then also why Isagenix, why they went with Isagenix. So it's with a great pleasure and a privilege that I get to introduce Mrs. Patty Cepeda. So, Patty, thank you for joining us.
Mute myself here. Welcome to the call, everyone. It's great to see. I can't really see everyone because nobody's sharing. Not many of you are sharing your pictures. But it's nice to be here, and I'm just honored to be here and be working with such an incredible team. We're very excited with what's going on, very excited, and our story and our background really is very blue collar, I would say. I have a master's, and I was actually getting a master's in special education when we were introduced to this industry. My husband, Herb, was a state trooper, and we thought we would do that for the next 40 years. And amazingly enough, on introduction to this industry through a different company, it was really something we had no idea about. So, as I got to know and listen to some of the stories and the freedom, the available freedom that's available through something like this, I became extremely motivated. And really, oftentimes people hear me say, I had to have it because, our mentor, which is very important, I believe, and that's why you've got great leadership with Chuck and, it's just unbelievable. And Michael, phenomenal leaders on the line right now that can help you, because one of the things for me was I didn't have industry background. And many people come into these things and they don't have industry background. But I'm going to take it a step further because at that time, when we were introduced to the industry, I didn't have industry background, Herb or I, and we became very good students. And we found a man who, what really motivated us was when he was saying, you know, he was able to do whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted, with whomever he wanted, as much as he wanted, without having to worry about money. And I always say, wouldn't that be a great definition of success, even if we use that just for today? You know, if that was just your driver, if you could really get your mind around it. And I was actually standing inside of one of his homes that was evidence that it was a fact. He really did have freedom. And I just bought it. I was like, oh my gosh, tell me what to do and I will do it. And it allowed us, and we worked like dogs. We really worked hard. It didn't just happen. Even though we didn't know what we were doing, I said, tell me what to do. We did it, and I meant it. And I think that there's a lot of people that come into this and they hear about people that are making money and they have freedom and all this kind of stuff, and that's fabulous. And they want it. But then I see oftentimes people don't take those action steps to go get it. And I think one of the key things that we do is we put together this system, this environment that really allows people to start to believe that they can. Because I think a lot of people lack confidence. And I believe that your income and your success level is directly correlated to your personal development. And that's something that you can take to the bank. I really believe that. Anyway, long story short, and we did very well with that company, only to find out at one point, and I share this for a reason, that we got to the top of this company. Herb resigned from the state police. I got my master's degree. I left teaching. And what happened, though, is I said to Herb one day, I said, you know, I can't do this anymore. He said, what's going on? I said, listen, who is duplicating what we've done? And we started to evaluate, because it was our first, we were young, we were in our early 20s. It was our first introduction to this type of industry. And we realized really quickly that what it was that the compensation plan in that company was very difficult to duplicate. So for many years, we looked for different opportunities and kept our eyes open. And when this one came along, to be honest, I was at the point where I had lost hope that we would ever see another company that we would put our name to. And so when this one came along, I started getting excited. We started seeing that the company was, you know, was stable, that the owners, Jim and Kathy Coover, they understand this industry, which is extremely important. They understand it in the field. They've taken the time to really understand it from ownership and that responsibility, and to be able to surround themselves with the right people that know what they're doing. We really are the creme de la creme of this entire industry. And so I get excited when I think we're talking to people in the UK and we're just starting it now over there. Because what we've done here is just and I don't believe we're finished here by any stretch of the imagination. There is so much growth available here. But as you evaluate this, and I wish, honestly, I could just give everyone a pill that you could drink with a glass of water and know everything that I'm saying to be true. I wish I could do that, because the company's stable, the owners understand the industry, the products are second to none. I mean, people look different within days, they feel different within days, and they're transformed. They can't help but share it with people. And I always tell people, look, if you're just interested in this from a business or from a product perspective, you want to lose 5 to 20 pounds of fat, you want to feel better, better energy, better mental clarity, sleep like a baby. I always say that, oh my gosh, sleep like a baby until you understand the compensation plan. Then you don't sleep so good anymore. You're so excited, right? I see Chuck like, yeah, I know. It's the truth. But the products are just second to none, that people, I tell them, look, if you're just here for that reason, don't tell anybody about it. You don't have to share this with anyone. However, we find that people have a hard time keeping it to themselves. Either people notice, or if they have a heart at all, it's like, my goodness, I can't keep this to myself. I want to share it with everyone that I care about. So the products, that's the second criteria. So you have a stable company, products. The third criteria is that compensation plan. Guys, there isn't a more lucrative and more simple compensation plan than this. It's so simple and it's so amazing because there's just 2 teams. And we teach you how to do this as a team. And when you work as a team like that, just it's amazing how many, it's like magical. Like people just love going into their back offices and seeing the people on their teams that they didn't even put there. That's more exciting to people than anything, I think. So you've got that going on. And then we teach you how to do this very simple comp plan, and then realize when you do realize, that's when you lose sleep, that there really is no limit on what you can earn here. Whatever you put your mind to, you can have, you can do here. There's no limit. They give you as many, for those that are a little bit more advanced, re-entries as you want. Every single one of them, as a minimum, as you max those out, are worth over $700,000 a year, conservatively speaking, before any bonuses. And you can have as many of those as you want. And when you build those, you're building just one direction. So that might be a little bit more advanced for some of you, but understand when you get there, and by the way, I just want to insert this. You really understand things as you get there. Like I remember when we were first introduced to this company, and we had been in the industry at the time for 20 years. And by the way, for those that are industry experts, this was for you. I said I'd get to this, and I want to say this to you. If anybody's on the line that's been around for a bit, when we were introduced to Isagenix, I knew the industry like the back of my hand. We knew what we were looking for, and that's why we got excited. But I also knew I didn't know the ins and outs of this company. And I remember when a company millionaire found me at our first convention, we were financially in a mess. So I flew out to it by myself, and Herb was home, and he invited me to his suite because he was having some leaders, and he had found me out and saw that we were doing something here pretty quick. But I resisted going to his suite. I was by myself. I wasn't going to do that. But what happened was we connected thereafter when I got home, and we started to work on the phone. And even though I have 20 years background in the industry, had written a book in the industry, we know the industry, even though I still said, listen, Kirk, is it okay if I record our conversations? Because I didn't want to slow him down as a company millionaire and have him repeat himself. And I certainly didn't want to think that I knew everything, because I didn't. Like I know a lot, but certainly, and he was coming from a different perspective. So most people come into this and they are business driven. So they're driven by the business. And that's how we always built these types of things. We were always taught to talk about the business first. And he was telling me that he had a product approach, which was kind of, it took me back a little bit. And it made me think, man, okay, hold on. I got to take my brain out of my head and put it on the shelf and become a good student again. And I listened. And what we did with that was we actually now incorporated, because I can't even help it. We have a business, we have an overview, we have a business here. A multi-billion-dollar a year business. And there's such an opportunity for people to make whatever you want. So many people to be set free with the simplicity of this compensation plan. So I was seeing all of that, and I can't help but share all that. But yet we also have a product line for that for the first time at the time, 20 years, we had never seen true networking. Where as I said before, we literally tell people, if you're not interested in the business, don't tell anybody about it. And so that was the first time we've ever seen that. And so when he started to talk, it really, took me some humility to listen and to really learn what he was saying and then implement. And so that's what I share for anybody that's here, that's been around the industry, and maybe a lot and all that. I'll tell you what, if you just come humbly and edify your upline, the more you edify the people in your upline, the more success you will have. So I've shared quite a few nuggets here today. The other 2 criteria, and then maybe Chuck or Michael have questions, or anybody that might want to kind of guide this conversation today. But The fourth criteria is training and support, which we never really are concerned with. We're actually revamping, and I've got my hands in on something with besetfreelife.com. And I really want it to be a very simple process for everyone. So if you meet somebody in an airplane or somewhere, you can actually say, listen, here's the website, besetfreelife.com. And there's going to be a link that says, if you want to know more or you want more information, click here. Members are going to click here, and that's that. And then they're going to be streamlined through that process so that there's almost, it's not finished yet, but you can see it's been cleaned up if you've been on it at all. Because the members section is one thing, but then if you have met somebody that you want to share a little bit about this, you have the others link. And then, of course, in addition to that, which we're going to streamline even further than it is right now, we have our daily morning calls and training calls and all the scripts and information, which I'm in there now going to clean up in that area as well at our training site. So the training is second to none. The company offers fantastic training and support as well. So, but I don't like people to get confused. So I really want people to kind of stay focused on one thing and learn how to do something over and over and over, and it works. And then finally is timing. And for those in the UK, oh my gosh, timing is like, forget it. If you'll be here long term, and that's the kicker. A lot of people quit when they start things. They're not making $100,000 a second already, and then they quit, that type of thing. I mean, imagine if it took you a couple of years to get to $100,000 a year here. Are you going to do that where you are now? Or what if you're making that kind of money now, but it takes you a little bit to get to the point where you match, or hold on, let me just get rid of this. Somebody's calling me through. There I go. What if you get to the point where you're matching your current income and then replacing it? So, it's really an opportunity really for anybody, but you have to keep it in perspective that you're going through a learning curve if you're new. So the timing is unbelievable. We've created about 250 millionaires already with Isagenix. I mean, 250 millionaires already with Isagenix. We're going to quadruple that in the next, I would say 36, 42 months. There's going to be so many more starting to break. And what happens is people are looking for a leader. If you would rise up as that leader, if you rise up, and listen, you might not be calling yourself a leader just yet, but I'm telling you, the sooner you can get there and start to realize you're sandwiched in between a leader, you're learning, and you're taking the information from the perspective that you want to teach it and help other people. So we always say, have the perspective of how many people can you help? I mean, think of the number of people out there that just really are dissatisfied with their current job or their current income or their current amount of freedom. Think about the number of people out there that are dissatisfied with their current level of health. And we've got the answers. So Chuck or Michael, I'm not sure if you want to.
I've got a few things for you, Patty. First of all of us want to congratulate you on being ordained yesterday with your husband, Herb. That is awesome. I think everybody on this call is of like belief and faith. So we just want to congratulate you on that. I know how important that was to you. And I know the first event I went to, just the moment you walked into the environment, you knew there was something special about the organization. And we're just honored and blessed to be on your team. So congratulations on being ordained. That's phenomenal.
Thank you.
Second thing, I've got some of our top leaders in the UK are right here with us right now. You see in the picture Joseph and Remy Font. They're the couple on there together. Joseph just promoted to manager. He's our second manager in the UK. Joseph and Remy brought on Miles and Gabriel, who are to the left on my screen. I don't know if everybody's screens are the same, but Miles, can you wave? Gabriel's somewhere behind you. I saw him earlier. That's Miles. Miles was very successful in Herbalife. There's Gabriel.
Awesome.
Gabriel's a big reason we're in the UK as a team. I'll tell you that right now. I won't ever forget you, Gabriel. Thank you for making Miles go that road show. And then Miles and Gabriel enrolled Letty. She's not showing her camera now, but it says Letitia's iPad. That's Letty. Letty's another phenomenal leader. And then Letty, there's Letty over there. Hi, Letty.
Hi.
And then Letty led us to Mayette. Mayette's the one on my far left on my screen. I don't know what I'll say, but Mayette, you want to wave to Patty? So all of them are consultants. They're all fast tracking to manager, director, and executive. That in my computer screen, all four on the same level. I don't know if that's the way for everybody. All four of them are leaders. Mayette has already led us to a guy named David, who's another leader. One of our other leaders in the UK couldn't be on here, but his name is Eric. So we've got about 8 really solid leaders, and 4 of them are right here. So I just want you to say hi to them and just encourage them like only you can do. But guys, this is Patty. I've been telling you about her for a long time. She is a real person, just like us. And she's just, her whole life is dedicated to helping others. So Patty, I just want to introduce you to the leadership team in the UK.
Ray, awesome. I'm very proud of everybody. That's fabulous. I know the work that it takes to do this, and it's amazing. Thank God we have this incredible nutrition to give us the endless energy. And of course, the focus. As long as you guys keep focus, it's calling forth those things that are not yet as though they were. So it's that focus. So I really want to congratulate all of you. And I want to offer too, Chuck, if anybody has any questions or we can I'll be glad to take any questions that people might have.
While they're thinking of their questions, one of the things you said earlier is in your previous networking experience, people could not duplicate what you were able to achieve.
Right.
And that's been one of our, as leaders, that's been one of our pet peeves with other things we've done. The thing I love about this, I look throughout your organization and I see, her name just escaped me, my good friend, who just went to the UK with us, guys. Help me out. She has 8 kids. She adopted 8 kids. She was feeding her kids expired cereal, Patty.
What's that?
I can't think of her name right now. It's driving me crazy. I know her really well.
Oh, gosh. I'm drawing a blank.
Farmer John, help me.
Deanna
hey, let me tell my daughter.
Yes, Deanna Faltra. Deanna.
What is it?
Deanna Faltra.
Oh, Deanna Falchuk.
Falchuk. Yes.
Oh,
her
okay,
story, and then you got your
I
nanny. You got Jessica. You got this young couple, 27 years old. I'm just saying, there's massive duplication now, so
yes.
We just got to follow the path. So go ahead.
No, you know what? I thought you meant somebody on your team, so I was totally.
Sorry.
No,
my bad. Her name escaped me. I know her really well.
Deanna's amazing. She's an amazing wealth of knowledge. She's a fireball, and she did a lot online with the internet. So she's amazing. She's making a fortune, company millionaire, and somebody on her team actually hit millionaire. Somebody she enrolled hit millionaire before she hit millionaire. Carolyn Tweemeyer and her husband Kyle, and they were doing this from a mission base. They were running a missionary home somewhere. I don't know all the details, but I've actually supported them. You would think that I know all the details, but I don't remember right now offhand. But they actually did a lot of it from overseas when we're not even open on the web. And then Deanna was helping Carolyn. Carolyn ended up hitting millionaire before Deanna. It was amazing. And then you're right. We have Jessica down the street with 3 small children. She hit millionaire. Never did this before in her life. Had severe issues. You guys have probably seen the last webcast that they did with the company I was on briefly. Jessica invited me at the last minute, and I'm like, wait a second, I really wasn't supposed to be on this one, but it was nice to get on there. But she's amazing. I love her story. And then the ones. James and Audrey. Audrey was our nanny. It's like countless, who right now they'll take home about $300,000 this year. They're 26 and 25. It's amazing. My own sister's never done this before. She's a company millionaire. I ran into another person in Mazatlan, Mexico, and I wasn't even talking to Andrea Scanlon. I wasn't even talking to her. I was talking to somebody else. And Andrea butts into our conversation. She's like, what are you talking about? And so I got her number too and followed up with her. And she's now a company millionaire. They're trying to sell their store in British Columbia. Like countless. I can go on and on. These are just personal. Besides, well, Deanna actually came through somebody who actually the Lord led this woman to me. And she knew that if I was at this particular location, she was praying about it, that she knew she was supposed to be involved in with me in this thing. And she actually led me to Deanna. So, and I can go on and on. There's so many stories like that are just exciting. I mean, to think of the number of people who have replaced six-figure a year incomes, and they're now in the car line or they're volunteering at school and they're able to be with their kids again. It's just so rewarding. And that's what we have here, is a very classy company that's set to explode. And our mentor said this. He said, you know, one of the secrets in this industry, if you can find the right company, is to get involved at the right time and let the networking happen from you. And it just, I'm competitive. I've always been an athlete. And it just was like, yeah, that really jived with me. I was thinking to myself, man, like if I was in the UK, it'd be like, okay, if I go out and start to spread the word, and then those people bring people who bring that networking will happen for me. That just drives me. Like that competitive feeling of, oh my goodness, if I don't tell them, someone's going to tell them. If you don't tell your doctor, someone's going to tell them. We just had the unit, our air conditioning unit on the third floor broke, and the air conditioning guy that was here, I just talked to him about it. Because it's like, he had a great personality. It's his company. He's been doing it 30 years. And I'm like, do you ever look for other things? Well, I don't really have time. I said, what's your wife do? She works with the company too. I said, the reason I asked that is because a lot of times the people who own their own businesses get what I do, because what we have put ourselves in a position to have is a residual income, millions, residual. So in other words, you're building it once and you don't have to keep, because here he is 30 years. Guys, it's 95 degrees. When he came in, he was drenched. He's been doing this for 30 years. He was out there for hours, and granted, the piece he charged me $500 for this, whatever he did. And maybe he made a lot of money, $300, whatever he made. I bet you I cycled a lot more times than many times over with that. It's just when you get what we have here. That's what I said before. If I could give you a pill and understand everything, the magnitude of and the freedom behind residual income. Do you guys get that? Do you guys understand the residual? Because a lot of the upfront money is just that. It's upfront money. So you're making your product introductory bonuses. And I'm not sure if they're doubling on all that. Are they doing all that over there?
Not yet. We're hoping to announce that at the upcoming convention next weekend, but not yet.
Okay, so I'll push for it too. But the point is, the more you understand, there are some upfront residual or upfront fast cash. That's great, but it's not residual. It takes time to build the residual. And as the residual starts to build, and you start to have people reorder and order and introduce other people and all of that, those reorders, you get to a point where you become a professional cycler. You want to be a cycler. You get to a point where you're making money while you sleep. And so that's really, I don't know, guys, it's just, that's what drives me, is because I love, and I think most people love to spend time with the people they love, with their family, and the ability to just pick up and travel and have freedom like that.
All right, so Joseph, Letty, Miles, and Mayette, do you guys have any questions? You've got the number one lady in the entire world of Isagenix on the phone with you right now. So I know I just want her to get to know you, but do you have any questions for her? She's here to help you. Any questions specific to the UK? Anything you're facing with a lot of people that you need a little help get over that hurdle? Now's the time to ask. She'll help you.
Hi, yeah. What was the biggest challenge for you when you started many years ago, network marketing? What was your biggest challenge?
That's a great question. And that's Joseph, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
My opportunity is I'm really sensitive. So, like, I fall in love with people. Like, I don't know why I'm getting choked up. But, like, I fall in love with people. And when they don't stay with it, and I know what it can do for them, it was hard for me. So I think what you can learn, and it took me time to thicken my skin a little, but you can learn that it's going to be numbers. And it's not going to be numbers because you're insensitive or that you're a bad person, but it's like they need to show up. They need to do the do. And sometimes I want to do the do for them, and it just doesn't work that way. You can't, when you build here, you can't put somebody on the inside leg. You know, you have two teams to build. Sometimes people want to put somebody because it's their cousin or their sister or their friend or what have you. And you've got these two teams you're building. And now all of a sudden your cousin comes in over here, or your sister, and you want to put somebody here on their inside leg to help them because you feel like, oh my gosh, if I can get them to cycle, they'll stay here. If I can get them to make money, they'll stay here. And what you just did was, instead of having a two-tiered comp plan, you now have you're going to feel a responsibility for this third leg, because if your brother or cousin or whomever quits and doesn't do anything, now they're floating around out there in space. Mm-hmm. So that kind of goes hand in hand. And that wasn't when I first started. I'm just warning you because I've seen it here with people who are very sensitive or people orientated and want to help people to an extreme. I think what we do is you can enable people. So if you're, you just got to be careful like that. You're building one team and you're having a team build together, and this one leg is growing like mad. And people who don't understand the comp plan will say, oh my goodness, could you just put somebody on my focus leg? They don't understand the comp plan to ask that question. They just can't understand the comp plan because that's not how to build. That's not fair to the entire rest of the team that you're building, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
so
absolutely.
I think, does that help answer? That's for me personally.
Yeah, that's very helpful. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Anyone else have a question?
Wow, you ladies aren't usually this shy. Okay, Mayat, I've just unmuted you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Just a quick, thank you very much for sharing, and nice meeting you, Patty.
You too.
My question is that how do you convince, I don't have experience on network marketing. However, when I'm promoting the product and, you explained how does the product do to you and how they're going to benefit. And then when it comes to them asking the price, then I give them, the options of whichever system, they need. And the first thing they answer me back is, oh, wow, that's too expensive. That's too expensive for me. How would you convince them that, this would, in long term, this would benefit them and not to think about the price at the beginning?
Yeah, that, I don't convince people, right? We're going to educate people. And when you educate them about what we have, then they have to decide. So we're presenting to them. And that's the thing is when people say no, N-O, they don't know enough, K-N-O-W. So when people say no, they don't K-N-O-W enough. And if that happens, understand you're learning, but the answer would be, how did you approach it? Did you use the scripting in the back office? Is there maybe something you need to kind of have in front of you to keep you on point? Did you go over the product line and explain the value? Do they see the value? Do they see that it's a replacement of meals? If you were to ask them what they're spending on food, you'll find that they're spending a lot more money on food, and they are going to find that they're spending more money on food than they think they are. The very person that will tell you that is also stopping at Starbucks twice a day. So, you know, that it was $6 to stop or more. You know, so you've got people that don't realize that one shake, there's not a higher quality, more absorbable meal replacement, nutritious meal replacement on the planet for this price, like $3 US dollars, right? It's very inexpensive for what it is. And so, and it's money back guarantee. So your question actually couples with, do you have samples? So, and again, remember, if you keep getting the same, I hate to call it an objection, but an objection or a question, if you keep getting the same objection or question, then, like, for example, some people over here in the States will continually get people asking them why, you know, or resisting them giving their social security number when most people don't have a problem with that. So if the same thing keeps recurring, then you have to ask yourself, do I think it's overpriced? Because if you think it's overpriced, that could be emitted. It's weird, but I really want you to evaluate. And what will help you get over that is like Dr. Paul Estiero did a call last night for the company. If you go in and watch him, or Dr. Tony, sometimes we have him on our calls. When you listen to some of these doctors that know the value of what we have, or John Anderson, we have I don't know if you watched that. We have John Anderson in our back office. When Herb and I did a call with John Anderson, or come to an event, like anything where you can actually learn the science, not that I'm asking you to learn it so you have to repeat it. I don't want you to think you have to repeat it, because you don't. But if you could get more in you about the value of what it is, then take the verbiage and you'll find that you're going to go a lot further with it. I hope this is helping you.
Yeah, well, I keep watching Dr. Paul Beyondich. You know, the way he explains the product and the ingredients. So I could pick up some of those terminology to explain to other people, so they would, you know, understand how, you know, how the product works and how genuinely the product is no compromise product. But obviously you can't avoid people saying, well, it's not necessarily, you know, they'll get, it's not necessarily that you would, you know, you would need this much protein to yourself. Obviously, you know, it will take time for them to sink in and understand, you know, how this product can benefit them, and a lot of this scientific explanation of actually learning it through watching this. I've seen the doctor's story as well, and a lot of times I forgot the name of the other doctor who explains much more in depth of, you know, the product, and it's really, really helpful. It's just remembering those terminology to really reapply it and implement it on how you flag the product. But thank you very much. That's really
You're welcome.
helpful.
Mayad, I also want to just encourage you that you don't have to know so much about the products. Are you interested in the business?
Definitely.
Okay. So what won't duplicate is if you know so much about the products. It just doesn't duplicate. People need to understand the simplicity as you put it in. And I don't know about that. All I know is that people look different within days. People feel different within days. We're watching people drop body fat. They have better energy. They're maintaining and building lean tissue. it's just unreal how people feel on this product. This is, and I'll say this is the highest quality, most absorbable nutritionals on the face of the planet, coupled with this very necessary element of cellular cleansing. You can't find anything like this anywhere. And I challenge you, because I know this sounds biased coming from me, I challenge you to find something better, and you show me and I'll stop saying that. And I've said this for years.
I won't dispute that, definitely. I do believe on this product because I myself experienced it, definitely.
My suggestion, Mayette, go back and transcribe what I just said, because this is being recorded. And in a mirror, you start sounding just like Patty Cepeda. And you start looking at people in the eye with the conviction. Because what is your product story? You said, what is your product story? You said you had a product story.
Oh, no, it's not a product. What I explained it to them is I've experienced it for the past 3 weeks now. And this is what I have experienced and what I felt. And this is the changes that has been changed within myself. So, you know, I would love to share you my experience. And for the last 3 weeks, I've already lost 9 pounds. I mean, not specifically, you know, the timeline, but I said I've used it for the last 3 weeks, and I weighed myself and I've already lost 9 pounds and I feel good. And it's not just me who's using it. Actually, the 30 days that I've ordered, my daughter uses it, my mom uses it, my little one uses it. So the whole family is using it. And really, the reason why I want to share it with you, because I want to share my experience. I really feel good. I sleep well. I don't get agitated all the time. And it's changes, a lot of changes.
Yeah. So what we want to do is, your excitement is contagious. So understand, you have such an incredible story. And if you get this down, streamlined, like that was perfect. Like, can you believe I just lost this many pounds in the past couple of weeks without dieting? I can't believe it. Like, and then you just look at the scripting, because the scripting in the back office is going to teach you how to be quiet. So if you ask, can you believe, they're going to say, oh, how did you do that? Oh my goodness, I'm doing this full body nutritional cleanse. It works on the inside and it shows up on the outside, and lost pounds and inches. And the best part is my energy, my mental clarity are through the roof. And then you zip it. Now they're going to say, oh, where did you get it? And that's when you say, hey, a friend told me about it. It's unbelievable. Why are you looking for, I need to lose weight. They'll start saying all this kind of thing. Great. Let me get your number. I'll send you over some information. It's that simple. But notice, I didn't go straight into Isagenix because I don't want them to go to the website to find out and then get dispersed as a lead. I don't want them to go to the website, and because weight loss is private. There's a lot of people who have lost weight and put it all back on. So they have a bunch of before pictures and no after pictures. So the last thing they want anybody to know is that they're going to start some stupid diet. And that's what they might think this is before they understand that this is actually the opposite of a diet. Diet's supposed to give your body of nutrition, and this is giving your body more nutrition than it's used to. And your body responds. So when you get some of this down, some of this verbiage, do like me. I transcribed and I couldn't believe it. Like, you guys are listening to this and you're probably like, wow, that really sounded great. But when we hang up, try to repeat it. If you went and wrote it out, you'll be shocked at how much you just missed. There's a call tonight too, by the way, just to expedite and speed things up, that we're going to do another Zoom, but there's going to be limited lines. So you need to get on it. So I don't know what time it is there now, but it's 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. I have a special guest speaker coming. Is that late for you guys?
2 a.m.
Oh, forget it. We'll record it. But I want to bring some information just because You know, Herbie and I did this. We built this the old-fashioned way, belly to belly, and I think that's the best way. I mean, people just love to get a hug, to be unconditionally welcomed into the house. We had the product package to put in their lap, so we put out some money that we didn't have. We were in debt. We just went more in debt. But we know this industry and we know the importance of it. If I'm going to go through this whole thing and share this opportunity, I want to be able to then place the package that you're going to start with in your lap. So you can take it that day. And people do it. And that's the other key point is it's money back guaranteed. So there's no risk. So that, just to conclude, my thought from before was about samples. No, we don't have samples, but because this program is meant to be used collectively together. It's a cohesive line of products that's meant to be used as a system. So I don't want to kind of piecemeal this or that or give you a little sample. I want you to get on the system and understand it's money back guarantee, so you don't have to worry about that. If you don't like it, send it back. It's like I have no attachment to it. People just don't send their stuff back. They love it. And then if you can help them from there, just kind of stay in touch with them and kind of coach them through, which I'll send something to you, Chuck, when we hang up that we're going to go over tonight, and you can forward it to all them. This little welcome text that you can send people when you first enroll them. And every question is there. So you say how to rock out a shake day. Like that's the first thing. Just tell them to go there, because you have to do 2 shake days, then 2 cleanse days if they're on the accelerated program, right? Then 5 shake days, then 2 cleanse days. That's how it goes. 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 7. You mix it up a little bit. And for people that have a lot of weight to lose, or if you don't have a lot of weight to lose, then you just go 2, 5, 2, 5 until you're done. And then people just race to maintenance. And if you mess up, you can't mess up. There's no messing up. Oh my goodness, I'm on a cleanse day and I just ate a hamburger. So what? You need to tell people this isn't a diet. It's not a diet. And so because it's a real program, though, people can have cleansing and different things going on. That's why it's important to develop the relationship and continually talk about the business all the while, you know, as permission is granted. Some people come in and they just want to talk about the products and getting healthy. Don't push the business on them or you'll lose them. Let them do what they're doing, and then every now and again, because they know I'm going to make a fortune with this. I know you're not interested in that, but I just wanted to put it out there, because if you find anybody is asking you, oh my goodness, you look fantastic, and they have questions about how do you look like that? How did you do that? And you don't want to tell them about it, I'll tell them. I can help tell them, and then we can actually help enroll them for you so you can start getting your products paid for a little bit. Or if you don't want to have anything to do with that, I'll take care of them altogether. You know, just let them know, because it's going to happen. And then, oh my goodness, you're looking around and you're on the phone with them and you go into their back office and, oh my goodness, Jack, did you know that you have 38 people on your team? And he may or may say, what does that mean? Or he may not even bite on it, but he may say, oh my goodness, you're kidding me. What does that mean? Well, and then you could actually add up the volumes. Well, it's really, it means that you've got a lot of people that are using, yeah, but I didn't put anybody in. No, I know, but that's how this works. It's a team building company where you're going to have people on your team that even though you didn't put them there, you can benefit from their orders and reorders. And I'm telling you, people say, I've heard, I will crawl across the planet for this. They're not going to stop using this because of how they feel. Why? Because it's the highest quality nutrition that they can put in their body that's found on the planet. The efficacy of this product is unmatched. Does that make sense? See, when you start speaking with that type of conviction and enthusiasm, people are like, I gotta have it. And then to top it off, the most exciting thing is when people come in and you welcome them, you're unconditional, you're not caring if they come in barefoot. It doesn't matter. Love the people. Welcome them. Go through the whole thing. We're gonna do it next week. Next week comes, we have a body composition machine. If you can have a body composition machine that measures how much your body is fat, water, and muscle, then that's great. Now there is a line to the body composition machine. We got the Tanita one. Phenomenal. People are shocked each week, and then their pants are falling off. And so now it's like, keep your pants on. Just they're pulling their belts. They're bringing guests. the guests don't care about what anybody has to say. They just want to get whatever they got. Whatever they're on, I want. And then the next week, and by the next, they're coming in and they're like seeing each other from the week before. You don't even look the same. Oh, yeah. And that excitement. If you can develop that in your own house, forget it. Or flat, or wherever you live, as the people come in, the excitement starts to build that and then the testimonies. And then what your job is as a leader, because I feel I'm speaking to leaders on this Zoom call, is to keep it compliant. So in other words, learn compliance, because that's what keeps our company long term. So it can't be anything a doctor says, we don't say. So it's, if, people talk about those severe discomfort in our head, right? There's a name for that. I don't even say it to you, because what I don't want to imply is that we cure anything or heal anything. Here in this country, the FDA says the only thing that can claim to cure or heal anything must be labeled a drug. So the FDA is the big boys. And that's all around, the $1 trillion drug companies funding our American Medical Society. And I know this is the United States, and I'm not sure how this applies, but maybe you can help apply it yourselves over there. But the point is, there's a lot of money in keeping people sick. So we have to tiptoe around how we talk. So we don't say, like there's sugar issues. We don't just say sugar. Like people have, imbalances in their body. They have severe discomfort in their intestinal areas. Sometimes that results in multiple operations. We've seen people completely transformed from this. But why? Because the body heals itself. It's designed to heal itself, rejuvenate itself, and protect itself. That's what our bodies are designed to do. So I've kind of given you a lot, but I'm banking on you'll go back in and get some of this written. And you'll see sometimes when we transcribe ourselves, it's more effective and more powerful. But you can also find a lot of this has been transcribed in the back office of IBelieveYouCan.com, which is our training site. So that's part of that site is BeSetFreeLife.com. And so we're streamlining everything. It's great. So you'll go to the members section and you'll find the training section. When you get into the member section, you'll find the scripts. Very simple.
Hey, Patty.
Any other questions?
I primarily had this for our UK team. Some of our US leaders snuck in and listened, which I don't mind at all. But we did have Eric and Myra join us, two more of the leaders in the UK. Eric was actually the first manager in the UK, and he's really doing a great job. He understood that power line that you and Herb teach before I even really understood. He helped me understand it better when I went over there. And then Myra, we call her Six-Pack Myra, but another couple leaders over in the UK. So this is, I think, 6 out of the 8 leaders we have over there. So I'm really glad you got the opportunity to meet them. But I wanted to say hi to Eric and Myra also.
Hi, Eric and Myra. Nice to meet you guys. I don't see you, though.
Eric is an old Viking. He's not real technical, so he probably doesn't even know how to unmute his camera. But he's a great networker. He's a hard worker, and he is really going after it. Very, very excited about him.
Awesome.
But he's definitely belly to belly, old school.
That's how we did it. And, of course, there's people that have made millions doing it online. So, there's ways to do it, and we're teaching as best we can. We're pulling in the leadership to teach everything, whatever fits for you. Whatever fits for you, fine. I do still stand on, I feel that it's so powerful to be belly to belly and watch people and see people shrink and their excitement and then the sharing of their stories. It's just powerful.
Very helpful. Definitely.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. Thanks. Bye. Thanks, Ian. Bye.
All right. Well, if there's no other questions, Patty, I am so appreciative of you taking your valuable time and spending with our team. You and Herb have just been iconic leaders, and I'm so blessed to be able to work with you. Diane and I feel so strong about it. Look forward to seeing you in August, and then look forward to seeing you in November at the Cepeda Express. And several of us are committed to being in Maui next year. So thank you for leading the way and living the lifestyle we want to attain. So thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, Maui, write that down, guys. You should all be in Maui. It's just one rank advancement maintained for 4 months in a year's time frame. You can do this. Write it down and just do it. Like Nike says, right? Just do it. You'll be happy you did because it's fun. That's a fun trip.
Well, these ladies and Joseph and their husbands love to travel and take trips, so that's their hot button. So
Good.
glad you mentioned that. All right, if there's nothing else, we're going to let her go. So, Patty, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing your husband next week, and you guys be blessed. Congratulations again on your being ordained. That's wonderful. It was just a formality of what God had already done.
Praise the Lord. We're so excited about that. It was done on the same, on June 14th, Flag Day here in the States, was the day we were baptized. I don't know how many years ago, but I'm going to figure that out. I think it was, 18, 19, 20 years ago. So interesting timing.
Well,
all right. Well,
you're attracting like-minded people to your team, so keep up the great work.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today.
Very helpful.
Thank you very much for your time today. Thank you.
Awesome.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Have a nice day, guys.
Thanks, Patty.
Bye-bye.